Welcome to this episode. Subscribe as soon as possible. The Rift Symbiote. Volume 1. Fragmentary Chapter of the Blood Oath Pact. Chapter 4. The Migration of the Camel Figurine. In the storage of the National Museum, the beam of Lu Qian's flashlight sweeps across the glazed surface of the Tang Dynasty tricolored camel figurine. Under the ultraviolet light, the glaze shows a strange fluorescent reaction. This is the third time he has examined this cultural relic unearthed from the 1998 Sishan mine disaster site. Every time he gets close to it, the blue veins on the back of his neck faintly heat up, just like the precursor of geothermal vein resonance described in his father's diary. Mr. Liu, the infrared scan results are out. Intern Xiao Zhou hands over a tablet, his voice tinged with suppressed surprise. The mineral composition of the glaze layer highly coincides with the star sand in your father's notes. Lu Chun's pupils slightly contract. Star sand, a mysterious mineral recorded as the blood of the geothermal veins in the Ming Dynasty book Tian'ong Kaiwu, actually appears in the glaze of a Tang Dynasty camel figurine. Even more guyi is that in the silk patterns carried on the back of the camel figurine, there is a star map drawn with star sand. 12 main stars correspond to the 12 star rings of the Ru Kill porcelain washer, and the position of the 13th star is exactly the coordinate of the Forbidden City. Inform Miss Qingluan. Lu Chen takes off his gloves and strokes the cracks of the camel figurine with his fingertips. A tiny golden light seeps out from the depths of the cracks. Ask her to bring the King of Liangzhu Jade Kong to the storage. We need to conduct a body temperature resonance experiment. 3 hours later, Qingluan's black windbreaker brushes past the iron gate of the storage. The silver bracelet on her wrist tinkles softly, producing an almost inaudible resonance with the camel figurine. She presses the King of Liangzhu Jade Kong against the abdomen of the camel figurine, and the glaze suddenly starts to flow like a living river, projecting a three-dimensional star map of the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City on the ground. A geothermal vein navigation system. Fine golden lights flicker in Qingluan's pupils, a sign of the awakening of the vessel's bloodline. The previous 12 civilizations used star sand to draw geothermal vein maps, and the camel figurine is a mobile node marker. Lu Chen takes out his father's diary and turns to the page of September 15, 1998. The autumn equinox at Sishan, the gate of the mirror abyss, opens. Star, sand as a guide, Jade Kong as a key. Only through blood sacrifice can its true appearance be seen. There are obvious burn marks on the edges of the handwriting, as if there was a violent energy fluctuation nearby when the diary was written. Mirror abyss. Qingluan reads the keyword in the diary, and the silver bracelet suddenly trembles violently, etching Sogdian symbols on the ground. Flaws are doors. This is the secret language of the Glaze Color Society. They are also looking for the geothermal vein core. Before she finishes speaking, the explosion-proof glass of the storage suddenly bursts. Lu Chen instinctively shields Qingluan behind him, only to see 3 people in black windbreakers break in. On their cuffs are embroidered light cyan glaze drop-shaped emblems, exactly the same as the Glaze Color Society killers who attacked them at the Mirror Abyss 3 months ago. The vessel and the Mirror Master, as expected, are both here. The leading killer pulls off his hood, revealing a glaze, drop-shaped scar under his left eye. Hand over the Jade Kong and the camel figurine, and I'll spare your lives. Qingluan suddenly chuckles. The silver bracelet draws an arc of light, and all the Tang Dynasty tricolored cultural relics in the storage simultaneously vibrate, forming an energy barrier. Do you think the geothermal vein nodes are inanimate objects? Her fingertips brush over the cracks of the camel figurine, and the star sand shines brightly. Look clearly. This is the symbiosis code left to humanity by the pre-civilization. The killer's dagger stops in mid-air, locked by an invisible force field. Taking the opportunity, Lu Chen flips over the base of the camel figurine, revealing Liangzhu characters engraved with star sand. The 13th crack is under the floor tile of the Forbidden City. He suddenly remembers that his father once said that every floor tile in the Forbidden City has its own story, and some even carry the geothermal vein memories of thousands of years. Lu Chen catch! Qingluan throws the King of Liangzhu Jade Kong to him and then rushes towards the killers. The silver bracelet collides with the dagger, sparking blue flames. Go to the Hall of Supreme Harmony. I'll hold them off. Lu Chen tightly holds the king of Liangju Jade Kong and turns to rush into the night of the Forbidden City. The autumn moonlight gilds the Hall of Supreme Harmony with a silver edge. According to the star map on the camel figurine, he injects the blood from his palm into the gap of the third floor tile. That is the flaw resonance ceremony unique to the Mirror Master. A rumbling sound of gears turning comes from under the floor tile. A bronze plate engraved with a star map slowly rises. Lu Chen inserts the king of Liangju Jade Kong into the center of the bronze plate, and the star map suddenly comes to life. Countless light spots converge to form the outline of Sishan. And under the main peak of Sishan, there is Hura, a door sealed by rocks, with the words Mirror Abyss engraved on it. Lu Chen. King Luan's shout comes from behind. Her windbreaker is torn, and golden blood seeps from her wrist. The Glaze Color Society has activated the anti-geothermal vein device. They want to take the geothermal vein core for themselves. Lu Chen turns around and sees the Glaze Color Society killers setting up explosives. Cursed symbols in Sogdian script are engraved on the explosives. He suddenly remembers the warning in his father's diary. When star sand resonates with blood and flaws confront perfection, the 13th crack will determine the direction of civilization. Resonate the star map with the king of Liangju Jade Kong. King Lian presses her bleeding wrist, and 12 rays of light shine from the silver bracelet. The geothermal vein nodes of the previous 12 civilizations need the blood of the vessel to activate, and you are the Mirror Master, the bridge connecting the past and the present. Lu Chen nods and presses the king of Liangju Jade Kong in the center of the star map. In an instant, all the geothermal vein nodes around the world light up simultaneously. The flying apsaras in Dunhuang murals, the Divine Ju Jade Kong, the Divine Tree of Sangsing Dui, the cracks of all cultural relics are glowing. The star sand light of the camel figurine and the golden light of the king of Liangju Jade Kong merge, forming a huge projection of the geothermal vein network above the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This is the symbiosis matrix of the previous 12 civilizations. Lu Chen's voice trembles as he sees new light spots emerging at the position of Sishan in the star map, which are the civilization marks of modern humans. We are not repairing the geothermal veins, but completing the symbiosis ceremony that the pre-civilization left unfinished. The Glaze Color Society killers look at the energy barrier in horror, and the explosives turn into powder in the resonance. Impossible. The perfect plan. Perfection has never been the answer. King Luan walks to Lu Chen's side. Her blood drips on the star map, actually forming the 13th star ring. Flaws are the breathing holes of civilization. You're trapped in the past cycle and will never understand. The star map suddenly contracts, and all the energy converges into a beam of light, shooting towards the direction of Sishan. The blue veins on the back of Lu Chen's neck throb violently, and an image of his father in the mine cave flashes through his mind. He is pushing a broken bronze mirror into the geothermal vein core, and Lu Chen's face at this moment is reflected on the mirror surface. The 15th of next month, the autumn equinox at Sishan. King Luan picks up the camel figurine, and the star sand light in the cracks gradually subsides. The door of the geothermal vein core will open again, and we need to stop the Glaze Color Society's conspiracy there. Lu Chen looks at the blood mark on his palm, which coincides with the pattern of the star map. My father said that flaws are not the end, but the beginning. Perhaps our mission is to let humanity learn to coexist with the rifts. When the morning bell of the Forbidden City rings, Lu Chen and King Luan stand in front of the Hall of Supreme Harmony, watching the first ray of sunlight illuminate the cracks of the camel figurine. Those patterns that were once regarded as flaws are now flowing with golden geothermal vein energy, like the blood vessels of civilization, never ceasing to beat throughout the years. The Glaze Color Society killers have already fled, leaving only a blood-stained badge. Lu Chen picks up the badge and finds a line of small characters engraved on the back. The 13th experiment, defect rate 37.2%. He suddenly remembers the last page of his father's diary, the burned-looking handwriting. Perhaps it was not burned, but a secret language written with star sand, only visible at a specific frequency. Let's go! King Luan presses his shoulder and the silver bracelet resonates with his ring. The The geothermal veins are calling us, and the secrets of Sashen have just begun to be uncovered. Lu Chen nods and holds the camel figurine in his arms. He knows that this Tang Dynasty tricolored ware with cracks is not only a cultural relic, but also the key to opening the geothermal vein core, the symbiosis code left to the humans of the 13th era by the previous 12 civilizations. And he and King Luin are both guardians and experimental subjects, shouldering the mission of rebirthing human civilization in the rifts. Under the floor tiles of the Forbidden City, geothermal vein energy is slowly flowing, like a giant beast that has slept for thousands of years, finally opening its eyes in the morning light of the 13th era. And humanity is about to embrace a new era of symbiosis with the geothermal veins, an era where people no longer fear flaws, but learn to seek light in the rifts. This episode ends here. The next episode will be even more exciting. Subscribe now.